Ladies and gentlemen, it is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you live as the post show for the PGF. The Bullpen's here. We got a lot of coverage, but the big news of the night, Ryan Aiken taking home the 20K. Had a dominant week, an incredible performance tonight. And here was vaguely aware that I was taking a photo of him. He looks just as surprised as I do that he got over 50 points in fantasy. But we will talk with Ryan. We'll be talking with Chris Wojcik. And when we come back, we're going to have our good friend, Paul Ardila. Hey guys, welcome to the Bullpen, the official post show for the PGF. I am your cruise director, liaison, whatever you want to call me, bellhop. My name is Rafa Esparza. I host a show called The Grappling Hour. This is a project between myself and our good friends over at Inside BJJ. Right now, we don't want to waste any time. We want to get straight to our guest. This man was incredible throughout the week. He's always a world-class performer. And I have to say, near and dear to us here at the Grappling Hour especially, because he was wearing our hoodie all week, and I have to say, that made me root for you a lot more throughout the weekend. But please, ladies and gents, welcome, friend of the show, one Paul Ardila. Oh, hold up. I see that camera is blinked off. So, Paul, they can't see your beautiful face. I think we're going to do a quick little adjustment here, but instead allow me to talk more great things about you. Paul was wearing a Grappling Hour hoodie, which not only made him perform better, I think, but made him look stylish. And who knew that we had not one, but two individuals who had that Grappling Hour hoodie and were able to make it to the playoffs today. I think it bodes well as a protection, but here he is. Ladies and gents, Paul Ardila. So let's start with this. How intentional was bringing the Grappling Hour hoodie in your plans for this week? Bring the microphone, if you would, sir, closer to
you got it. And I scoot in closer,
please,
too.
Thank you.
No, I always rock that hoodie, especially now that it's getting a little colder, including in Georgia. And I looked up the weather before I came here, and yeah, it was showing like 40s, 50s. I was like, you know what, man? Let me go ahead and grab my Grappling Hour hoodie. And so
it's warm, right?
It's super warm, and no joke, it's probably my most comfortable hoodie. So
take that, everybody. I love the fact that there'd be moments where I'm sitting here with Kevin, and I'd look at it and we're like, Paul's wearing that hoodie. Look at that. Look at that class that man has. And he goes, are you just saying this because I don't have one? I was like, you don't support me. He supports me. So I appreciate that. And, you know, not for nothing, but you did an interview with Alex Wendling and you were wearing it. And I just think, like, that's good screen time. So thank you for that, sir.
Of course, man. Anytime.
All right. Let's get to the bottom of this. Paul Ardila or Ardila?
All right, so the full name in Spanish is Paul Ardila. And then if you want to Americanize it, it's Paul Ardila.
Okay, it's confusing because I'm pretty sure I've referred to you as Paul Ardila, and then no one has corrected me, including you. So I'm confused. Then I hear these people saying tortilla, quesadilla, all of these different names, and it's been very confusing. So Paul Ardila, you're okay with the Americanized bastardization of your name?
That's right, man. At this point, I mean, think about it. I've been here for 24 years in the U.S. I've heard it all, so I'm just kind of chill with it. And then if it's close enough, I'm like, you know what? That works fine. But yeah, it's Paul.
All right. You know, I'll check the tape to see if I've screwed it up more than that. But I've definitely said it on air, so I wanted to at least apologize for my insolence here. Paul, you had a great week, man, and you looked like such a great competitor. First of all, you were the first person picked in the whole draft proceedings. You told us a little bit that night, but now that you've had some time to reflect, how did it feel that night after you were picked? And then you actually saw your team and you realized, okay, I've got a team, but now you're trying your best to carry that team.
Yeah, I mean, sorry about that.
You're good, dude.
You know, I ate somebody's little Nutri-Grain bar. But
You know what, Octavio, do you mind getting him that gelato water over there?
I think it was Kevin, so I enjoyed it even more. But no, getting picked first was really nice. I kind of had a feeling that, if you're the first one to go, people are gonna be looking out for you more. And thank you. And maybe not want to get in with too many exchanges and kind of stall you out a little bit. I'm not gonna call anyone out, but I did feel that a lot. It's okay. I had a feeling that was gonna happen, but yeah. And then my team got formed. I thought I had a really good team. Not a lot of subs, unfortunately, until the very last day. One of my other teammates finally just got a bunch of subs on the fourth day. So,
the thing I heard about you was that you were so jet focused on trying to make your team work. Like, you were like, hey man, I know I'm doing okay on my individual points, but that you were really doing your best to say, like, man, I gotta get on the board for my team, not for me. And that's a weird thing, because that split happens, especially when some teams go, yeah, we can't make it, so I just gotta look out for me. So was that in line with what you were actually thinking? Were you really still trying to make shit happen specifically to your team throughout the week, even when you kind of got the feeling it might be bad?
Yeah, I mean, after I think it was the third day, I started getting a bunch of subs, and I knew who my opponents were, so I knew I was going to get a bunch of subs, and I just looked at the team standings, and I just try to keep a very positive attitude. I had a feeling that if all of us just kind of stepped our game up, we would be able to kind of just get back into contention of first place. And yeah, I was trying to encourage everyone to just do their best and get some subs. And a lot of times doing is better than just talking about it. So I thought I would go out there and try to get chokes and let it be known that I was trying to get, or kills, that I was trying to get a kill for my team to kind of rally the troops, especially after getting some injuries. I was just, and I love the team component of this competition. I don't know. I like being part of a team. I like encouraging other people to do their best. It ultimately kind of comes back at me, so it feels really good. So yeah, I was trying to cheer my team on and hope everyone's going to do their best.
I appreciated you and your commitment to your team, and not just the physical team that you had, but also Ernesto. Like, you guys had perhaps one of the best matches of the week, and other organizations or people might have done a fake match. There was nothing that looked fake about that. So you guys put out a great show. What did you guys say to each other after that match?
I mean, nothing really. I think we were just, congratulating each other a lot, because, we really put it out there. Ernesto, before coming on to PGF, one of the promoters told him that if he was gonna hop on, and he had to go against me, that it had to be like a real match. And he showed me the message, and I told him, like, hey man, don't worry about it. Let's just do our thing. We'll talk about it. Whatever, man. Whatever happens, we're best friends. So we'll put it behind us. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And we just went. One of the best things, though, is that because we train so much with each other, we know literally all of our moves. Every single one of my finishes he knows, because he's helped me get the details down, and I know his finishes as well. So I was trying all sorts of new things, and I knew it was gonna be really hard to finish him, and I knew it was gonna be really hard for him to finish me. The only thing I hoped is just that we weren't gonna hurt each other for the next day. So yeah, nothing but love at the end of the day.
Good for you guys. I was so happy with that. I think that is probably one of my top matches from the week. So much respect to you guys.
Yeah, I got a lot of messages.
I'm sure you did. But Ernesto also put up a really nice message where he was saying, you don't know how much that match meant to me. And I thought that was a really cool moment. But seeing your brother there, him, you guys as a little unit throughout the weekend, there was such a good energy coming from you and your team that I think that if you were watching at home, maybe you didn't feel it even as much. Maybe you could hear Ernesto yelling a lot.
Yeah.
But there was a good energy that I thought was unique for our season this year. So props to you and your team. I do want to ask a couple follow-up questions, but the first is, what was like a takeaway that you had from this? Did you have like a favorite moment or a favorite experience from this whole week of insanity?
Oh man, I mean, this was my first 5-day tournament. Like, you know, my mindset coming into this was, well, I get more rounds at practice than 3 a day, so I should be able to coast through this. But after the first day, I was already sore. You know what I mean? And my body was hurting. Um, yeah, I mean, it was grueling. It was, and I saw a comment that Elijah posted on one of the PGF posts, which was like, hey, on the 5th day, it's about who not only physically but also mentally can hang on. And yeah, I mean, that's the truth. You know, after the first day, especially, we're 205 pounds, some guys a little lighter, and then some guys much, much heavier. I won't say who, but I'm pretty sure you can figure it out.
Sure.
Yeah, no, you feel the weight of your opponents on you, and you're feeling sore. And then, you come back for the 3rd day, and it's, we're doing it again. And yeah, of course your body's taking a hit, but then mentally you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe I have to come here another day to do it again. Yeah, I mean, I was definitely not ready for how mentally taxing it would be and how sore I would be on day 5. But yeah, I mean, I loved it, and hopefully I can do it again. We'll see. I'm 33. I don't know when 205 will come back around.
We don't know yet, but you have to be top of the list. I thought you being here was a very legitimizing thing. Like seeing you, Chris Wojcik, obviously Ryan did well. Like, you guys made sense as competitors here. And I think the nice part is there's some guys who would never get a match with you who got a match with you. So they got their shot.
Yeah.
Ernesto, perhaps the most undervalued person this entire week, made a name for himself in a way that is going to carry him, I think, with some incredible momentum. He got some shine. And then there's Kevin. So we need to get to this. The very end of this week happens, and you allow Kevin to get out there.
Yeah.
Why did you give him this joy? Because to me, I'm sure you're sore, but like, Kevin's chomping at the bit. He's wondering if he's going to get in there. I told him I brought him as a possibility. But I said in order for him to be pulled, they'd have to go through they went through all their alternates. Oh, okay, cool. So how did that scene come together on your side, sir?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you want me to just throw it out there, well, Kevin's one of my best friends, first of all. Even though he's not as handsome as me, not even close.
Wow. The weird part is the nice guy, the Superman that you all know and love, just shades of like the competitiveness come through. And it's like when they shine, are they gems?
Look, man, unfortunately, on this, podcast interview, I got to speak the truth. You know what I mean? I don't want to just put out lies here. So Kevin might even be 3rd or even 4th on the handsome scale of our team back home, unfortunately.
Wow. Hold on. No. Kevin, leave him alone. He's a guest. Treat him with respect, sir.
But, Kevin went back there while we were all kind of warming up, and he said he was looking for a match. And, I had 2 really tough opponents at first, so I told him I would take those. And if he wanted the last one, I would give it to him because, no offense to the last opponent, but, he hadn't won a single match. So I thought it would be a good one for Kevin, who only weighs like $170, to go against. Of course, that ultimately backfired when the kids started talking shit. And I was like, yo, man, what? if anything, that was a favor to you as well, man. Like, I don't know how you thought that match was going to go, man, but that was not about to be your first win on this tournament. I hate to just, again, man, I got to speak facts. But,
listen, brother, you talk your shit. You're a champ. I get it. And you know what the worst part is to me? You did it the right way. You sacrificed what could have been better points positioning for you as well. But at the same point, it's kind of an interesting thing in that I felt like Kevin always gets these stall calls. And, you know what's really weird is I do the joke once, twice, if he pisses me off a lot more. But I'm like, it's really hard being in this tournament. And I don't think people realize that you got to be pretty good to get in this tournament. So why do we keep doing this joke like it's I'm Rick James, bitch? Like, you were running the joke into the ground. So to me, I was like, you know what you did do? You gave him the opportunity, and I thought he got more respect back on his name. Because it was like, dude, he looked really good. He was offensive the entire match.
So not only did he weigh less, I mean, you could visibly see how much lighter he was than his opponent, but no stalling. He was in there. He was attacking. No, he did. He had a great match. And I told him, I was like, man, when you're done, that was your match. Because I saw they were doing interviews for everyone's kind of last match. I was like, don't call me up there. This is your moment. You're taking this match. Don't fucking call me up there. Don't say anything goofy. Because I had a feeling they might have asked him, like, hey, why are you taking this last match? And I was like, man, just say the truth that you wanted the match. And I think he tried to help me, look better by saying, like, oh, he was hurting or whatever. And then that just gave the other guy, some fire for his little shit-talking spiel or whatever. But, no, Kevin looked amazing. And he was the stalling king. Unfortunately, I think he let his fan base down by doing no stalling and being extremely aggressive and having a great jiu-jitsu match. So,
well, we'll make those amends a little bit later, sir. Before we get you on out of here, I have to ask, you as a lawyer, I'm sure you've seen Grappler's Court, a.k.a. PGF Court, a.k.a. Bullpen Court. What are your thoughts on what we're doing now?
I love it. I think it's really funny. Kevin has won every single time. This is coming from a lawyer, and I'm not biased whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's very important. I think my boy Raph is a very neutral judge. But unfortunately, I have to just, from an also neutral perspective, I have to say I think Kevin's won every single argument, unfortunately.
From a neutral standpoint.
I am a neutral party on this one.
Interesting. Okay.
That's right.
So will we ever see you on one of these bullpen courts one of these days, sir?
Well, Kevin yesterday asked us if we would do part of the,
Well, it was planned.
It was planned.
It did not come to fruition.
That's right. And you guys were going to see my brother Sergio, who's also a lawyer, back one team up, and I was going to back the other team up and, have the help of some, real life lawyers in this virtual courtroom. But unfortunately, it took too long. But he's here, I'm here, and we're always game, and we're always ready to compete. So just know that put me on Kevin's team because we're going to win, all right? Like he's been doing the entire time.
Listen, my guy, we'll see what we can do for you. But I just got to say, man, it's always family. I was so happy you were going to be involved. I wanted to see you for a week, and it was always smiles. You were in good spirits, and I saw the work you were putting out here, man. World-class competitor, any rule set, anytime, any place. That's why we love seeing you, dude.
I appreciate it, man.
Hey, safe travels home, dude.
Thanks, man.
Paul Ardilla, everybody. Emphasis on the hard illa, you guys. All right. My guys, thank you so much for watching. I believe right now we are going to be going with, what's that? We got Chris Wojcik, who is joining us at the table. Appreciate our good friend Chris Wojcik, who the runner-up, undersized, but never underappreciated. Chris Wojcik, how you doing today, sir?
I feel terrible.
Oh, no. Wait. Ghost of Christmas Future was trying to tell you this.
Yes.
So how's the seminar going to look tomorrow, sir?
It's going to be a great seminar.
It's gonna be
Everybody's
great.
going to learn a lot.
Everybody's going to learn a lot, and nobody's going to roll with you, right?
I'm going to play bottom turtle.
Hey, everybody at Newground, I love you guys. Please be nice to this human being. He went through a war this week.
I had the most amount of matches that you could possibly have in a PGF season.
But did you have the most amount of fun you could have?
I think so. I was actually telling people earlier, I was saying that this is like the most fun I've had doing a tournament. I was even telling you, like earlier this week, I was saying that like there are like few things that get me excited to compete right now, like ADCC, EBI, and then this came along and I was like, that is so unique. And it is so challenging that I want like an opportunity to do something like this. So like just to be here all week was like a fucking blast. Am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah, of course.
It was a fucking blast.
Well, it was a fucking blast watching you, sir. You were phenomenal. You know, there were a couple people, I won't name names, but they were like, I don't see him making top 8. And I was like, I don't know. My guy's pretty good. And I felt like throughout this week, I think one thing that happens with you is you have such a non-drama attitude about you. It gets lost in the shuffle of characters that are going out of their way to be silly or do stuff or get antagonistic. You just stayed your lane, gave us some great submissions, and then even when there wasn't a submission in some of your matches, they were still really fun to watch. Do you have a favorite match throughout the week, sir?
Let's see. I'm trying to see if someone is. I'm trying to see if someone is around who I can talk shit to. My favorite match.
Back here, we're good.
Was okay. So the Davis match on Monday. I'll go day by day. Davis match on Monday was sick.
Okay.
Travis match on Tuesday was sick. Wednesday. Who did I have Wednesday? Ernesto match.
That was
sick.
fire.
Thursday the match with Cam was wild. That was that was the most physically exhausting match of all of them. That was crazy. And then today, I don't know. I like competing against Ryan. I know he beats me, but like, he's way bigger than me. The EBI is his rule set, and I love just like doing everything I can to try and beat him. And we're gonna keep fighting each other. ABI rules, ADCC rules. Hopefully one day we'll get one that's like who's number 1 rules. I think that'd be sick. But I just want to like, he like challenges me so much. So like,
I feel like you get new information every time, but that finals was tense, dude. Like intense to watch. Like you were throwing shit that I thought started making him wince a little bit, where I thought, I don't know, this can go either way. So it was very, very fun to watch.
I brought like I fought him today how I should have fought him on Monday. And I guess it didn't make a difference really. Like I lost to him on Monday and I lost to him today. But like I knew there was no way he was going to tap me. There was no way he was going to sub me in EBI. I was giving him like a lot of room on the chokes to try to spin out, you know?
Yeah.
But I felt extremely confident in my EBI escapes. Even though it took a while, like I knew I was going to get out. We got to work on the holding in the back part. That's for next time.
It's very difficult. Like sometimes those shoulders are already out. Like,
bro, his shoulders are like the mountain range.
Yeah.
It's like the Rocky Mountains.
Sometimes those body builds when they're like, oh, start from the back. And I go, I've already lost it and I don't have the grip.
Yeah, I think, like, I don't know. I was just having a really hard time holding in the back on him. I was like, and we were even talking backstage. Brad was like, oh, you should do armbar on him. And I was like, oh, that would be great if I was allowed to do armbar.
Oh, you weren't allowed to do
no,
armbar.
you were only allowed to do back for this, which is like,
I was wondering why, because I was like, I feel like we should do it. And I was sitting there being like, what a choice. My idiotness.
Yeah,
Didn't
like
know that.
my back control on people my size is very good.
I do know that. But in this specific region, I was thinking like, hey, man, if we're short on time, that's usually the one you switch off to. So that's our bad. Hey, dummies. Our bad, not his bad.
Yeah, my only request. Look, I know a lot of people complained about refs this week. My only request for the PGF next season is allow the armbar position, the spider web, if in overtime in the playoffs. Because, like, if you're gonna do a 205 bracket and you're gonna invite like the guys who are cutting and then guys who are weighing 187 pounds, I'm at such a disadvantage trying to hold the back on this guy. Whereas like armbar is my like one of my better positions, and I'm not allowed to use that in this rule set. Like, you know, maybe it would have played out the same, but it would have given me like more options, more things to try. So
Sure.
that would be my one request for the next playoffs.
Well, even then, it's still like it's a 50-50 proposition. So there's a little bit of drama. I'm like, what are they going to choose?
Yeah.
So I like that. But man, that was a lot to watch. So I'm glad you had some fun throughout the week. You know, how did you like competing on a team? What did that feel like for you in this specific tournament style?
I'm going to be honest. I was like about the team. I was like, yeah, let's win this team title. And then on Tuesday, we were like so far behind that I was like, let's try to get Chris in the playoffs. That's the goal now. And then I started getting, because I had the like really hard matches on Monday. I had Davis, Ryan, and Kyle Bame.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday I had Travis, Dory, and Elijah. So everybody was super dangerous. And I remember just thinking, like, this is like I read an article like, oh, maybe Wojcik is like not adapting to this rule set because like he's not, and I had like all of these giant tough guys, and then I had 4 subs Wednesday, Thursday. I had a sub today. I beat like this terrifying Polish giant. Like I'm not like I think I proved that I can hang in this rule set. I can hang in any rule set. So
I think you can too. I mean, as I like to tell people, you are a world-class competitor, even though you don't act like you need the drama for it. Like, you're just good. It's fun to watch you when you're doing your stuff, man. And literally, my legs just get nervous watching the entire time. Like, when these guys are starting to be like, was that a Woj lock? And I was like, just, oh, you feel it right here. I want to get into this, though. Today, there were so many different elements at play behind the scenes before the tournament even started. Last night, you're wearing a Grappling Hour hoodie. Our friend, our guest, who was here just a second ago, Paul Ardea, was wearing a Grappling Hour hoodie, which thank you. We take a photo together, and you guys tell each other, I think we're facing each other in the finale if points stay the same. Does it happen? Then it gets reverted. Then you have a new opponent. So you went through about 3 or 4 different opponent changes within the period of about 12 hours. How are you feeling going in today with all of those different changes?
I really wanted a match with Paul. Like for me, like winning the tournament was a good goal, but I just want to like compete against all the best guys and like try to beat them,
Yeah.
So like I never had a match with Paul before. So I wanted to have a match with Paul. I already had a match with Ernesto, so I was like bummed that we had to have another match. Not like no disrespect to Ernesto, but it's like we did this on Wednesday, and now we're gonna do the same match. You're not gonna learn too much new shit, Like I caught the same submission just on the other side because we didn't really he didn't have enough time to relearn tactics. I didn't have enough time to add any new shit, So I wanted a match with Paul, and then I ended up not getting it. And then one thing I wanted to add about the team thing was. Our team was like in last place going into the last day, and me and Marcin had a hell of a day, and we finished second, and then I finished second in the tournament. So I had the best B team PGF week in history.
You really did. Well,
I finished silver in the team and silver in the tournament.
Silver team, silver tournament. You're consistent with the results. B team has to be very happy about that. Well, sir, I do want to ask you to do this. What is coming up next for you, and what advice do you have? And if you don't mind looking into that camera, what advice do you have for that next group of individuals, those insane people who will be doing the next season of the PGF?
I think so next for me is EBI, December 14th. I took a little bit of damage today, so I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break. Things are hurting. I won't specify what, so I'm going to be competing in about 5 weeks in the Eddie Bravo Invitational at 170 against normal-sized people, and then I'm going to. And that's the last thing for the year, I guess.
Yeah, you should probably close it out. Let's be done doing that.
Yeah, and then my advice for people who are doing PGF is one, don't I guess the first thing is, if you're going to come here and you're going to sign up to do 12 matches, do the 12 matches until you can't anymore, We had a lot of people not do all their matches, and I even said this, backstage. Everyone talks about how, jiu-jitsu athletes are not tough, and then, people go and do things that are not tough, just not competing because they don't want to, and it's okay, well, that's kind of why, you should just try to challenge yourself and do your best, and also then, in turn, when you're going to get tapped in this rule set, you should just tap because you are going to have another match, and then you're going to have another one, and then you're going to have more. So it's you have to be smart. One of the first matches of the first day was a nasty leg break, and that competitor was out for the rest of the event pretty much, and maybe even out for the next few weeks. So it's you got to be smart with that stuff.
Well, I appreciate the advice. I just knew coming into this, you would be the person to give that advice because you write so many great things. And I feel like you're probably getting about 12 weeks worth of material based off of this one tournament.
We had 15 matches, so hopefully 15 weeks worth.
Hey, you know what? Listen, I hope that you milk it for all that it's worth, because I can't tell you how excited I was when you were in the mix for this, because the last one was going through. We just kind of talked back and forth, and I thought, man, you would have been such a great addition even for that last one. So do you think you would do this again?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Hell yeah. I'll do it at 170. I'll do it at 185. I'll do it at 205. Like I said, I don't even like the results are important to me, but I don't really care anymore because I've competed so much and I've lost and I've won so many different times that it's like I just want to compete against all the best guys, whatever the rule set, whatever the event. So I do this again for sure. 15 more matches. Hell yeah. Well, let me rest a little bit first.
Well, I'm not letting you rest. Now I might make it to your seminar now that I know that you are vaguely.
How about you and me seminar tomorrow? Let's roll. That's a call out.
I think I have to do it. But the problem is I don't know that I'm back, so I might be late to your seminar.
I don't know that I'm going to be able to move.
No, I know.
I'll be able to move.
No, I know. You're going to be able shut up. I saw what you did out there. You can't fool me. It's just the proposition you're making to me is like, this is probably the best shot I've got, at least for this year. So we'll see. We'll see. But when you say super fight, what rule set are we talking here, sir?
I really want to get on Who's Number One or Polaris.
Listen, what do I offer you that makes them have more attention?
Whoa, can you repeat the question?
I was asking what rule set, because you challenged me to a super fight, and I was saying,
oh. I thought you were asking me like about my career.
No, dummy.
No. Okay, what rule set for our super fight?
Yes.
No time limit, submission only.
God damn it. Okay. No, I'll pick the rule set tomorrow, and I'll tell you. I don't think people have enough time to watch me just get worked and then be like, I thought this was going to go for 10 minutes. Nah, man, fam. He's not that broken. He's milking it good. Chris Wojcik, I appreciate you, sir. Great overall week. Like, fantastic stuff, top to bottom. You're always fun to watch. And if we're being real, in a world filled with insane people who do our sport, it is always refreshing when I see you, because I know I can just talk to you like a regular human being, and that's so wonderful and comforting. So I think I'm going to go ahead and let you get on out of here, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Man.
Guys, check out the Grappler's Diary on Instagram and Substack, and check out my DVD, Don't Stand Up, and my other one, Woj Lock the World, coming soon, and have a good night.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris Wojcik, everybody. All right. We are going to right now bring on the big man, the champ, the gentleman who has been running the show. He's having some nice words in back with his finale opponent, but the big-ass championship is making its way onto the table. I mean, how heavy is that thing, Keelan? It's pretty heavy? Like, if we were to make an estimation, how many pounds? 15 pounds? Good Lord. That's like, that's a big weight. Like, you've got to work out just to be able to do that. Fortunately, the person coming up next here in just a second should be able to lift it very easily, as he was also able to lift a lot of my fantasy team throughout the week. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show your champion and a gentleman who performed incredibly throughout the week. One, Ryan Aiken. Ryan, how you doing, sir?
Good. Do I need a headphone?
You don't need them.
Okay.
You're good. Do you mind pulling up the seat a little bit right to that microphone? Sir, how are you feeling?
Dang,
that championship looks great. Congratulations.
Caught in 4K.
In 4K, indeed.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, man, you had such great momentum going throughout the week. What did it feel like today to finally accomplish the solo version for yourself?
That was incredible. I've been trying to keep that vision for like, I knew that I had it in me to like win this, like when I first accepted that I would do the PGF for sure. But like this past week, it's been really hard to like hang on to that vision, knowing like watching other guys get injured left and right, and trying to like avoid injuries, but also having to get the points on the board. And the thing I was telling Plaster yesterday and just now recently, like I've had this thing where I try to like when I did IBJJF, right, I would, if I wanted to podium, I had to shoot for second. If I wanted to get second, I had to shoot for first, you know? It took me a long time like to figure out that I had to like literally dominate to get first each time. So it's like you have to shoot higher to get everything underneath it. So this week I came here with that attitude of trying to be the highest, the top scorer, because I knew come the finale that I wanted everybody to know that I was the one that was dominating the season.
Well, you definitely dominated it, but you touched on this, but you were mentioning that you were going through some tough times throughout the past year. Why do you think that was hitting you while you were here specifically, or were you able to push through it before you were able to get to the PGF?
Well, I mean, it wasn't really just the past year. Like I remember when I was coming up on 30, that I was like really, that was the tough one for me. That was the black cloud. I had a black cloud in my life before I left Alliance, and then that was like removed, like the clouds parted, you know, when I went to 10th Planet Atlanta and when I won CJJ. It's like, oh shit, like there's this whole world I can still conquer, you know. But then when I was coming up on 30 and I'm training with guys like Kevin Beering and David Beretta, I I felt those clouds like starting to creep back in, and the sun was starting to get a little dimmer, you know, because you know, when I was coming up and I was 22, we had guys like, you know, Haggerty that would get like 29, 30, and then they're like, yo, okay, I got to focus on my real job, you know. And I mean, dude, like Ryan Haggerty's a stud, you know, out of Alliance, but you know, I remember feeling that switch, you know, when I was the young guy, and I remember feeling that switch in him when we would roll, and he's like, you know, it's probably time to like chill, you know, go to my beach house, you know. But he had the most like deadly Kimura and guillotines, you know. He was the first no-gi like training partner I really had at Alliance, you know, that would push me. So I was scared when I was 29 going on 30 that and I didn't have a sick like construction job or something, you know, that was gonna you know, bring in the dough, and you know, all I've ever had is jiu-jitsu. So what, I'm supposed to like fall back and be that jiu-jitsu instructor at some local gym or whatever, you know, and just make way, or be a body, a sacrificial lamb, if you will, for guys like Kevin Beering and David Beretta on their way up. But you know, I've taken everything seriously, and I've just really stuck with it. I've this year specifically, actually ever since ADCC, I feel I removed all these other distractions, and I really just focused on, okay, I'm full-time jiu-jitsu. I'm not learning a single other skill. I'm watching film study with my girlfriend at night. You know, we might want to do Netflix. No, film study, bro. We're literally falling asleep to this shit on the TV. So, yeah.
Did you call her yet?
Yeah, I just got off the phone with my girlfriend, Jaden. Love you, baby. I make sure to get that in before I get through all the interviews and stuff. You know, she's one of the first people I call. I still got to call my dad, but I got something big about my daddy issues and shit like that coming out. So
Understood.
I'm sure.
Hey, you know what the nice part is? I wanted to ask you this when I heard you talking about this dark cloud. Does this change anything for you? Does this make you feel something different with this result in this kind of a week, though?
Say that again.
Does this change anything for you? The performance like this week and this championship, when you mentioned having a dark cloud, does this help to like either?
Yeah.
Well, how does it help then?
Because, Raf, this is a beacon of hope. Like, the EBI belt was kind of a beacon earlier this year. And by the way, for the last 3 years, I've had I don't know how I do it, but it's been like 2 belts a year. It's been a 2 belts a year thing. And this year, it's no different. It's 2 belts. This one is definitely up there with the EBI. The EBI means a lot as like, it's like a get back, I guess, because like New Wave has been running the show. Or not really just New Wave, but Gordon, you know, and Gary Tonin were running the show with EBI, and then Nicky Rod ran the show with EBI. And then finally a 10th Planet guy comes and gets the EBI Absolute belt. So that's kind of like the get back, right? But this, for me, and for my team, is a beacon of hope, okay? Because this thing, PGF is definitely the future. The way something that stuck out to me was how well, like, they color coordinated the teams, you know? I don't know if you know much about, like, video, but, like, in video you have, like, the RGB thing, you know, red, green, blue. And then, boom, we got gray and black on New Hope. And somehow, like, dude, somehow being the freaking 20th pick, like, I'm able to bring gray and black all the way to the top. And that's the one that stands out over RGB. I don't know, man. Like, as a guy that's, like, done some video editing and shit, like, that was kind of cool to me.
Well, I want to tell you this. You had so many great moments throughout the week. I really did enjoy watching you progress because to me, you just seemed very dialed in on every mission. And I thought that was really cool. You took each match and said, all right, let's get this done. Next one. You didn't waver from that at all. So it's hard to do it. It's easy to
Learn
say
that
it.
from Andy Varela.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, you know, you don't see it until you're here and then you realize, oh shit, I got to match with this guy. I got to match with this guy. And a lot of times it's your friends. Do you have a favorite moment or anything that you take away from this week that you kind of really, really like enjoyed or that it meant something to you?
God damn, dude. I wish I could have done, Chris, bro, I love you, bro. You're a great rival. I wish I could have done what I did to you like earlier this week in the finale, but my God, you were onto it. You would not let me pass that guard. You would not let me get that body lock. You knew it, and we talked about that backstage. Yeah. So you knew that it was coming, man. So I will say, like, that one earlier this week was a big moment for me. A lot of people probably think that the Davis thing was a big moment for me, and it was, like, a social media wise. But I also have like 20, 30 pounds on Davis,
Sure.
You know, so Chris, I might only have like, 10 or 15 pounds, and Chris was someone that I've had so many wars with in the past. That last match was still an improvement from the CJJ match I had with him a year ago. But the match that I had with him earlier this week was a huge improvement since CJJ. So, like, Chris is someone I always get anxious about fighting. I never get overconfident about it. I know he's going to bring it. He beat me in ADCC trials. So that was definitely the one that sticks out for me.
That was it. You guys had some incredible matches. The way that you finished them throughout the week, a real big highlight, I know. I would like to ask this. The camera's right there. Would you mind telling people any advice that you have for anybody looking to do the PGF in the future, sir?
So if you're like an advanced competitor and you want to do the PGF, you have to understand that this is going to be a very grueling week. Don't stay in the hotel. Get off the strip, bro. The strip is a trap, dude. Vegas sucks. I hate Vegas, man. I hate Vegas because of the strip. But when you get off the strip and you get like a house out in the suburbs and you like everybody else that actually lives here, dude, I would sit out in the hot tub and look up at the sky at night.
What's up, guys? Ryan,
And
sorry to interrupt your shit.
Andy,
Peace be with
love you, bro.
Enjoy your day, sir. This is not working well. Have a good one.
Dude, get off the strip, get away from the city lights, look up at the sky. Dude, this time of year, the sky is beautiful. The stars really stand out, man. So if you come out here for the PGF in the future, do that, number one. Number two, man, dude, you're going to be here for a week. You're going to be in the trenches, bro. Anything that you do at home, like I went and bought a freaking yoga ball, a bucket of rice, lacrosse ball, several things that I use like for training, okay, that I'm just using at my house and stuff to warm up for training. I brought all that, like I went and bought all that here so that I could have it at the house. I could bring it here because, dude, these are like 7-hour days, man. You got to keep your body together. You got to treat it like you're in for a long week, full time. So this isn't something like the day one and day two are going to be super hard. those are the days you need to come out and try to prove a point, but also be safe. Okay. And think about what's going on for the rest of the week. You cannot get injured on day 1 and 2. You can't. You can't afford it if you want to win this. If you do get injured on day 1 or 2, you're going to end up being one of those guys that ends up staying in the hotel, probably smoking weed with everybody, getting food poisoning or some shit, and then you're fucked for the rest of the week. So you got to keep it together. You got to act like a professional. And yes, the $1,000 probably is not going to cover it. You got to get a place off the strip. It helped a ton.
I think that's some worthy advice. I want to tell you this, man. You were incredible throughout this week. I hope you take all of these memories that you have, because when times get tough, you can remember that when you were locked in like this, it was an incredible performance. So
yeah.
I hope that you recognize that and that you can share that with your team.
Dude, I'm glad I got this one in, because this was probably the easiest one that I could possibly have. It's only just, like, no pun intended, but it's going to get harder from here, I'm sure. It's like, dude, tougher and tougher guys are going to come in here and each year, and it's just going to get harder and harder.
Your champion, everybody, Ryan Aiken. Congratulations,
Boom.
brother.
Let's go.
That's
Thank you,
how
Raph.
Hey, congratulations. Appreciate you, brother. All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in. We still got a lot more show to do. I have been informed that we have a special guest that's going to be dropping in here in just a second. Now, this is a surprise to me, because normally I book the guest. I don't know our next guest. I've never met him, but I am familiar with his work, and you should be too. Not only a pioneer, but an incredible ambassador of our sport. Him being here is a truly, truly amazing moment, and I have to tell you this right now. I never thought I'd be doing this interview, but let's go ahead and take a look at the OG, Boyce Gracie. How are you doing, sir?
Good, thank
It is
you.
a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What brings you to the PGF?
Well, first my cousin, Heather and Zoltan, they invited me over. So that's why I came over.
What did you think of this whole thing? Did you enjoy the matches?
It was a new experience, because I'm not much of a tournament person.
Mhm.
So to me, it was a very new experience. It was a fast pace. I like it. I like
Nice.
it. It was a fast pace.
So
The guys were all trying to go for submission. They can't stall, just get across side. I heard a couple of times they're saying, how they say when they're stalling, when they're warning.
warning. So the
Warning.
shot
I was
clock.
like, wait, that was fast. It was like 20 seconds, warning. You got to move. You got to do something.
Did the shot clock kind of get to more of the core essence that you love about jiu-jitsu, or specifically competition jiu-jitsu?
For competition jiu-jitsu, it's different than if it was an MMA match. It's a totally different game. So, but for competition, makes a fast pace.
Very nice. Were there any people that like stuck out to you? Did you, obviously Ryan Aiken we just talked to right now, the champ looked very solid all
The
day.
guy who got second place,
Oh, you like Chris Wojcik?
Chris.
What did you like about Chris Wojcik?
He was the underdog. He was the smaller guy. And to get to the finals in the heavyweight division, man, is up to 205, right?
Yeah,
And
definitely didn't look 205.
Yeah, I was like, as soon as I saw him, I was like, dude, how much do you weigh? He's like, shh. Let's not talk about it. I was like, all right.
You know, I
So
mean,
I got to cheer for the little guy.
game respects game. That's how it works for you. I mean, it's not a big surprise considering all that you did when you were paving it forward for us to be here. You know, when you're doing all the work of the UFC.
It wasn't me that did it. It was jiu-jitsu that did it. So people didn't watch me fight because I have a beautiful face. They like it because of the technique that they saw.
I respect the position you have, but as somebody who grew up with this, I cannot say this without saying your role and what you did for it.
I was the one that represent, but
That's
it
fair.
could have been anybody in my family.
I mean, very also possibly fair too, but the fact that you were one of the first as a pioneer is so important to all of us. And you know, it's very funny. I remember being in a living room watching you compete.
When
And
you're a little kid, right?
When I'm a little old.
Yeah, you better
But-
not say that.
No,
I'll choke you.
I'm a guy. No, sir. I would never say that. But the thing that you said about Chris is what I said about you when I'm watching that, because I said, like, I just connect with you. And I felt like that might have been the thing that you had
And
with
that's
Chris.
what a lot of people out there, when they saw the first UFC, they're like, oh my God, the smaller guy is able to defend himself and subdue opponents bigger and
Yeah.
stronger. So they saw the technique. I tell people all the time, you never saw me fighting. You saw the technique. That's what impressed everybody.
That's so true. So what do you see the next evolution of jiu-jitsu being? You've been there for so many different things. You see where we're at here. Where would you like to
If
see
I
us
had
go?
that crystal ball, I would be playing the lotto, my
I
friend.
mean, I understand that, sir. It's just whenever you have somebody who's seen more than you, I think it's important to try and learn what it is from their perspective. So I just love to know, where do you think you'd like to see the sport grow or go in the future?
I mean, martial art in general was made for self-defense, not to score a point. Any point that you put a point system, people start to play with the point system. You see, so
Yeah.
it's like a martial art in general. I'm talking about all martial arts. They're not made to score a point. So soon enough, the guys will figure out the point system, how it works, and they'll go around that. So it's always they're trying to figure out a way to go around the point system, and we're trying to figure out a way to take the point system away so they can go into battle.
Understood. I've always wanted to ask you this, and this is not perhaps related to the PGF. What is the best advice you ever received for your jiu-jitsu?
My father used to say, don't walk in to win the fight. Walk in not to lose. Because I was fighting guys bigger, stronger. So he said, don't think about go over there to beat him. Go over there and don't lose to him. If you don't lose, the question is how you're gonna win.
That is very helpful. I mean,
So I mean, in reality, the way I where he meant was like, okay, if you fight somebody, an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old kid, and you don't lose and you don't beat that kid, who won the fight in case of a draw? You see?
Yeah.
So you're bigger, you're stronger, you have to beat him. If you don't beat him, you automatically lost on my eyes.
Yeah.
So the lighter weight, the smaller one, would have win. So it's like the heavyweight in boxing have to knock out the lightweight.
Mm.
If the lightweight goes 12 rounds and don't get knocked out, it's like, man, I'll give the victory to the lightweight boxing.
I thank you for that. It's one of those things that I wonder about individuals who have done what you've done. You've seen so much, getting those perspectives and kind of putting that out there. I think that's really cool. Conversely, what is the best advice that you've given and passed on? Because this is such an art that requires us to pass on.
In a match like this,
Mhm.
or even a fight, I told a couple of the guys in the back, the girls, I told the girls, like, it's not a match. It's another training day. And it is. Your coach is just bringing a new sparring partner for you. There's a couple people extra watching. There's a few more lights and cameras. But it's another sparring day, another training day at the school. So look at it as another training day.
It's good perspective, because sometimes they overblow it, or they think
They
it's
get
a fight,
nervous, yes,
and
they
it's
go
not
to-
a fight. It's a
or even
different
a
thing.
match. It's like, oh my God, this is a match. Everybody's watching. Dude, it's another training day. It's another sparring partner, a new sparring partner that the coach is bringing for you to test your skills.
I'm also curious about this. Are you able to watch jiu-jitsu and enjoy it, or do you?
I enjoyed tonight.
But do you also, as the instructor, the long amounts of brain that you have, are you also thinking, like, as a teacher or student, and like, oh man, I wish I
the
could do
new
this?
Kids, I was impressed with them. Fucking so agile, so fast, and if you blink, they catch it.
Yeah.
Cannot blink. Cannot relax for a second. It looks like such a short amount of time. It's only 10 minutes, but they're 10 minutes full on trying to catch you, and so you can't breathe. You can't relax for a second. You cannot. I'm gonna relax. No,
Yeah.
you're gonna get caught.
I mean, you saw it especially with Chris, with both Marcin and with Ryan, that size difference playing a role,
But
and
we were
so
going at it.
breathtaking. And then Maybe he's got that leg for a split second and it looks a little rough. You see it go back and forth. It had a beautiful ebb and flow as I was watching them go back and forth.
It looks like nothing, but it's fast.
Oh, yeah.
If you relax for a second, like I said, they're gonna catch you.
Yeah. Well, this is good advice because tomorrow Chris Wojcik is giving a seminar at my school where I am a student at. And he's like, so are we doing a super fight? And I'm like, brother, didn't you get enough matches out here? I think you're good. And I was like, well, just tell me the rule set we're doing. I might be busy then, sir. But he is such a nice guy and one of the best writers in all jiu-jitsu. And Ryan, of course, has a dominant week, looks incredible. You were here tonight, obviously, through family and interest. Do we see you in the future coming back to the PGF by any chance?
Of course.
Well, I just got to say, I think it's pretty cool that you would come and you would see the next generation because
It was nice to watch.
for us, obviously, the reverence we have for you and your spot and just having that here was just a great moment to see you talk to the crowd real quick. So we are so happy and thrilled that you came here today. I don't want to take up any more of your time, but I want to tell you, we appreciate you, sir, and we look forward to seeing you back at the PGF in the future.
You.
Please enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
It's great, everybody. Good Lord. What a moment. All right. See, this was a surprise to me. They didn't tell you I was going to get to interview you. I was like, these other kids, get them out of the way. I got a legend here, everybody. Nonetheless, we now can get to a few things. We can get some housekeeping in order. We're going to get our panelists and friends joining us here in just a second. But if you're still watching with us, be in the comment section. We got a little bit of show left to do, and we got some recapping. But, man, what an incredible thing to see here. I'm joined now by the handsome one himself, one Kevin Sherrill. As Paul reminded me, the less handsome than Paul, Kevin Sherrill.
Solid 7.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any response to that?
I was waiting until they put me up on the screen.
Okay, go ahead.
This man ate my fig Newtons. This is bullshit.
It's not a fig Newton. It's a fig bar. Be very clear.
Yeah.
Until they're a sponsor, it's a
Hey,
very
why are you trying to
different-
rob Isaac Newton of his inventions, man?
Yep, of course. That's
Stealing
how
the
that
credit
went.
from him.
Egg, we're going to get here in a second to the board. Just the last topics that we need to bring up. But how are you feeling, man? You were putting in a ton of work with Jason Anik over at Fantasy Island. How do you feel after crunching numbers for an entire week's worth of event?
I feel amazing. Such a blast. I mean, when we got TJ into the commentary booth, that was just, having such a professional there, driving the bus, improved us so much. And then, going over there to the new fantasy table with Jason Anik, again, such a great professional, just, keeping me in line. And awesome. I told him, he's a demographic. He's somebody that's new to jiu-jitsu. If you find something interesting, just pull it out, ask the question, let me know what you think could be interesting for stats. And I think we had a really great rapport. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Great to hear. Gentlemen, we're going to get to a few topics. The first of which right now is, what a week. Jesus.
What a week.
I like, my brain is starting to come down, but I know we need to talk about the things. I'll ask you first impressions. What stuck out to you about today's competition? I'll start with you, Kevin Sherrill.
Emotions running hot. That was very evident. We had a lot of high intensity matches. I'm sure viewers at home saw me and other coaches getting involved, supporting our guys. I mean, when there's 20K on the line, everybody's excited about it. I think Kaya put on a great performance. Vanessa, credit to her for coming out here. She gets that stall call and knows what she's doing. Immediately drives up, tries to wrestle up through the guillotine. That takes some grit. That's MMA fighter stuff, man. Jiu-jitsu guys will just take the stall call. What a week, man. What a week.
Egg, what stuck out to you from today's competition, sir?
One, I mean, just Ryan Aitken proving why he was number one. Just dominance out there. It's wild. We knew if he got to EBI overtime, he's one of the best at it. But Kevin kind of stole a little bit of my thunder. I was going to say the ladies, because both those matches were fire. Just everything. I think also seeing that the Woj lock was the most dangerous weapon there was during the season. Brandon said that a number of times, and yeah, people, if he put his arm around somebody's ankle, they were running fast. But yeah, it flowed well. Seeing all the stars here, it was amazing.
Do you know that he challenged me to a super fight tomorrow at that seminar that is at Newground?
I wouldn't take that challenge.
I mean, I'm busy. Is essentially what's coming down.
Couldn't make the date.
The worst part was I asked him because he was like driving home a deal. And anytime I speak with these gentlemen about a deal, I legitimately go, what are the terms and conditions? And he goes, what? And I go, what rule set? And he goes, well, I'm trying to get on Polaris and I kind of like this. And I go, no, dummy, for us. And he goes, oh, submission only, no time limit. And I was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, first of all, yeah, of course he's going to cook me for 10 minutes. But not just that. It's like, didn't you grapple enough here? Like, shouldn't you be done? You don't need
he's
going
to feel like he got hit by a car tomorrow. I think he should take the match.
But that's the reason why I entertained it. If you look at the footage of me, you see me do the calculation of like, this has got to be the time. Because any other time and he's healed up, yikes. But what a week indeed. I would tell you this, though. I felt like the people that you saw that were incredible performers, your Paul, your Ryan, your Chris, your Marcin, they delivered for us so much throughout the week, and it didn't really surprise me that they would make it into the Final Four. 3 out of the 4 of them I kind of predicted from the initial get-go that I thought they had a shot at being the Final Four. Marcin was obviously the biggest surprise, but if you were watching any of the coverage this week, it was not a surprise. You saw him being a monster. A lot of the guys were afraid of him, and with good reason, because he did send home a competitor very quickly that is a high-caliber individual. So that's great. And then you saw the other stories emerge. Ernesto, incredible respect on his name this week. Like, made a star of himself from his performances. And then looking throughout the rest, like, we saw so many different changes in this lineup. And yet it was still fun and compelling to watch all the way through. You had Nathan stepping up when he thought, maybe I'm just going to take this one off. I'm going to sit in a nice golf polo. But instead came in at last minute to be a replacement. Davis Asari, of course, could have easily sat this one out, but came in like a monster. So it's that. And, of course, Elijah still sticking it out, even though I'm pretty sure Body maybe didn't want to do more matches, but came in and gave us his last match today. So an incredible week. Why don't we go to our second topic right now? Our second topic is, well, what did we learn, kids? It's been a long week. I think it's important to go over the things that we've learned. I'm going to start with you, Egg. What did we specifically learn this week at PGF Season 7?
Well, I don't know if we've learned it. It's certainly been reinforced, is that keeping your team healthy in sports matters. Because if you look at Team New Hope Regeneration, what they have, a team that stayed intact the entire time. And I think Kevin had a pretty cool stat on this, is that we had about a 50% injury rate, he was saying, which that tracks. I mean, Toronto had 9 different people have to dress up for their team. That's insanity. But Team New Hope Regeneration, which may be aptly named because of what their team is, stayed healthy the entire time, and it mattered. They didn't have to worry about reserves coming in there because, some reserves killed it. I mean, in Toronto's Abe, he came out and got a sub that first day, amazing. Chris Alibo got a sub that final day, phenomenal. But by and large, when the reserves get in there, man, those regular guys lick their chops, and they're looking to score, and they more often than not do. So if you can stay healthy, that matters.
Thank you for that. Kevin, what did we learn this week at PGF Season 7?
I was going to say that massive size difference and weight gaps are like really dangerous and hard to overcome on the PGF. But then you've got Chris Wojcik in the final. You got Ernesto Rivera doing fine. Does weight not matter? Did we learn technique is over everything? No, that's ridiculous. Keep your team healthy, guys. We need more alternates is what we learned. We need about, 20 of them, a whole secondary roster as the PGF gets better, as more skillful guys get in here, as more money gets involved. I feel like it's going to get a little dicey out here, man. Maybe we need to keep some people in the wings. I don't want to have to keep popping the suit off when I'm doing it when I'm 45. Let's fix this, man. Let's get a 50-man roster, draft them the whole way through, bro.
Yeah, I want you to organize that specifically.
Oh,
I'm pretty
man.
sure if you talk to our assistant GM Drew,
Oh God.
28 is hard enough.
Yeah, he's having a panic attack at just the mention of a 50-man roster.
But
He's somewhere
thank you.
hyperventilating right now.
Very good on that. There's also an element of what did we learn that I kind of wanted to bring out that will showcase the statisticalness of one Kevin Sherrill. We're going to put up a graphic here, but before we do, I must preface this. I have not double-checked these figures, so I cannot report them for statistical accuracy.
I also have not double-checked these figures.
Jesus
I did them
Christ.
once. They're done.
That's not how statistics work. Nonetheless, go ahead and show the graphic. And Kevin, walk us through what it is we're seeing here today.
Right. So I have this stat that I personally started messing with during my time in the PGF, where I started looking at your individual plus minus. So you can do it over the course of a season, but I really think your per match is a lot more helpful, especially when you have as many alternates in. What we do is we take out the team points that you're awarded throughout the season, and I start tracking who gave up points to other teams. So it's a basketball and hockey stat where they track the score differential while you're on the court and while you're off the court to see whether you're adding points to your team or you're a liability. So you sit there and you break down. 0 is when we go in, you're getting a draw. We can expect a draw from you. Now, it doesn't necessarily indicate the action that these people go through. Like, to point out, you have guys like Jacob Howarth with a 0-0 plus minus, and you have Davis Asare and Adam Bradley with a 0-0 plus minus, which means Davis Asare went in there and took 2 breaks and got a kill. He evens out, but he had a very different experience with that than Jacob Howarth. But it does boil down to, are you a liability or are you adding points? And over time, you can bring your score closer to 0. I want you to call your attention to Ryan Aiken's plus minus, because good Lord, man. Just start looking at any 2 other guys that you think are good. We'll say Kyle Bain and Elijah Carlton. They combine for a +3. When one of them steps out there on the mat, we'll say, Kyle, you can expect 2 points from him. Obviously, that's averaged out. So it's, in a couple of matches, you get a chance that he's probably going to get a break. That's a good score. Kyle did well. Elijah, the king of the PGF, has a 1. He was in the playoffs. He contributed to his team and has a 1. Ryan Aiken is worth any 2 other guys other than Marcin and a handful of the other ones. Really impressive, man. And then you have guys down there like, unfortunately, I have to give a nod to Jack Bidwell, because he came in for 3 matches, and I believe he had Ryan Aiken, Marcin, and Chris Wojcik. Yeah, he was in for exactly 3 matches. So you see the minus 5.67. He's close to giving up a kill every time he steps on the mat, just for this season, because that man had the worst draw I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, Kevin, but seriously, look at that. Other than Marcin, honestly, any other 2. Because even Kyle Bain at 3 with 2 and Paul Ardilla at 4, you put 3 or 4 together, you're still not Ryan Aiken.
Yep.
Good grief.
Insane. It's the number of kills. The number of kills Ryan Aiken was able to get you, because there were guys he went to a draw with. But when he had a chance to get the kill, he went after it. He made that joke during the season of, I used to be bad at the head and arm, not anymore. Yeah, clearly, man. Clearly.
Yeah, I say it wasn't good, the rear naked choke, and then, he rear naked choked Chris Wojcik during the season. Oh, yeah, okay. No,
Yeah.
No, not too good.
Yeah, not so good.
Well, thank you for that, Kevin. That was a very nice thing that you put together. How many cocktail napkins did you write that on?
It's more about the crayons I went through.
There we go. All right. Well, the fact that you actually did take the initiative and make that, I will give you a cautionary good job until I fact check it. And then when I look at it, I'll have to make sure that we didn't put something up that was salacious.
Straight up, it's wrong.
Don't.
I'll tell you, I'm going to have missed at least one. I'll
why?
tell you this. No. Let me defend
Say
it.
that later.
Let me defend this. Some of the smooth comp things are wrong. I had to catch at least one of them. Paul Ardilla got a elbow genie point versus Brad Schneider, and that was not reflected on smooth comp. It doesn't matter. It wouldn't have affected playoff order, but it happens. We have 120 matches. I did the best of my ability, but I didn't go back through, check the screen, and watch the stream to see whether the smooth comp numbers lined up. I just know that because I know Paul and I train with Paul. I remember the match. There are going to be some inconsistencies there, but we're going to fact check them. So, don't worry. I'll get the crayons back out.
Are we? Because, I'm kind of like...
I'm sitting next to Egg.
You know
I
what I
bet
mean?
anything he can't help himself.
Dude, I have all the matches and all the stats. All you had to do was ask. I could have emailed them to you. You didn't have to worry about smooth comp or put them together.
I don't trust his stats.
Oh,
Wow. I'm the stats guy.
I will tell you.
The captain now? Okay, Roger.
Wow. Hand over your spreadsheet, sir. I think we have one more topic here, and let's go ahead and slide this in. Gentlemen, should be the easiest one. I'll ask you, what was your favorite moment from the week? I'll start with you, Egg.
I mean, maybe we got to do viral with the Ryan Aiken against Sorry. What was it? The ankle lock heard around the world.
Favorite? You're a psycho.
Yes, I am. I remember that. No, it was just wild, and maybe the transaction occurrence because then you have Sorry be like, no, I'm good. I can play more. Man, it's got to be good to be young, but just wild. I think that's it.
Fair enough. Thank you for that. Kevin, what was your favorite moment of the week?
I'm not a broadcaster, so I have to just go ahead and put this up on my Instagram to get myself that free little props. Okay. But it has to be the initial Chris Olivos walkout. It is now in my story at Kevin Grapples on Instagram.
Oh, my God. Why didn't you
send
this to me? I know the video.
I didn't even think of it until just now. It's my favorite moment. Would you like me to send it to you? Can we get it up that quick?
I mean, it's possible. Just... airdrop it to me and let's see what we're doing
All
while
right.
you describe it.
I'm going to put it in there. Oh, my good. It's so funny. Yeah, that's my favorite moment. That's my favorite. I'm so happy one of my students sent this to me, and I am so sorry.
It was on Instagram. Let's give it a little more context. And it was something that I completely missed.
I put it up right now on my Instagram.
You put it up right now on your Instagram. Okay, so I see the attachment.
So anybody that's watching it, go to @KevinGrapples, tap through my billion stories, and go look at that little clip.
The reason why this is so infuriating is that I don't know how we didn't put this up earlier, and if it was any other scene, I would not have cared. But the fact that this never made our program is really a reflection of myself.
We've been busy, man.
We have been busy. We lost Tim, R.I.P. Tim.
Yeah,
but we've been working, and we had Jason Anik, who did a great job. We had Matt Elkins, who did a great job, and we also have Egghead. But
no one noticed that.
Hold on. What I should point out, though, is
we noticed that
when this stuff was going down, we somehow missed this one clip. So what I'm going to do right now is, Kevin, do you mind talking? Let's put the one shot on him while I can see it ascent to my computer. I will put it up with you guys.
All right. God, I hope you guys were watching for this. It's so funny. The camera angle is perfect. So Chris Olivos comes out, and he does a known WWE, as well as LeBron James, does this little walkout celebration where you drink the water bottle, you turn up, and you spew. You just little spray or whatever, and I'm sure it's real cool. Except while he's walking out between the chairs, blasted in his cowboy hat, and you can catch a shot on camera of Ernesto getting hit with it and going, Jesus. It's so good. Oh, my God, it's so great. It's got to be just the fact that he's just in the corner as the camera pans away and follows Chris, and you see him shoot the meanest fucking glare, fix his hair from whatever's in it. It's golden. It's absolute gold. You catch this?
That's great.
Oh, my gosh. All right, we might have it. We might have it, guys. Here we go. Yup. All right, so Chris comes out, fully set up, cowboy hat, boots, fur coat. Bam, there we go. Has his moment, flex. Ernesto catching the stray and shooting him the meanest glare. You can see that look in Ernesto's eye that says, man, I hope this guy later this week. I'm going to get my pound of flesh for this. 100%. He's using the Lord's name in vain.
Let's get me and Keelan over here.
Absolutely. We have the commissioner himself
Well, there we go.
has come up to join the bullpen. Keelan's going to be coming in as well.
Okay, I just
no.
tech
Man.
directed
Who's gonna
very
take my
quickly.
spot?
So they're going to come in. You guys are going to swap out for just a second. And then we'll have you guys come back for PGF Court. But, ladies and gents, the party still goes on right now. We will be joined shortly by two individuals. We'll just keep it on that shot, that 3 shot, because it'll be set up for all 3 of us. I have to tell you this, you guys. It is incredible to see the work done by the people who are going to be joining us right now. You have the PGF commissioner who's about to come on the show and join us for a few seconds here. And to the other side will be our showrunner, our executive producer, one Keelan Lawyer. And I am incredibly happy to share the microphone with these two gentlemen. Welcome to the show, Keenan and one Brandon McCatherine. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful.
Gents,
We did it.
how do you feel right now? Are you exhausted? Do you still feel you can do another season in a week? What's going on in your brains?
I'm pretty tired. Yeah. No, I wouldn't want to do this again next week.
I would say this. I saw Keelan today, and we were in the middle of training, and I saw he was, like, mentally checking out. And I go, let me just grab a quick roll with you because I know you got to go back to work because I got to go back to work. And we literally just rolled the easiest slow roll possible for two people who are in production just barely sleepwalking through a fucking roll.
Joke's on you. That's how I roll all the time.
Joke's on you. That's how I roll all the time. Ha ha.
Joke's on y'all. You both suck.
Oh, that's fair. I don't dispute that. And I'm getting called out by Chris Wojcik for a super fight tomorrow, so
Oh,
things are
no.
not going very
It's
well.
not going that good.
No. And I'm like, dude, didn't you roll enough? BMAC, right now, initial feelings, season 7. How would you describe what you saw this week?
Well, I think it's pretty clear. It's very clear to me, at least, that this was the best season of the PGF that we've ever had. It's still like super surreal to me, honestly. It's super surreal that we're even doing this. Like, it really just feels like, a couple of days ago, in a lot of ways, that me and Keelan were just scratching this all out on paper at my kitchen table. And the vision that we set initially, it feels like it's starting to come true. And I really feel like we're just getting started, to be honest with you, Ralph.
It's good to know because, dude, it feels like even a jump from season 6, which was so polished, so well done. It felt like there were improvements on the refereeing. There were improvements on the production. There were improvements for the housing in the way that we took care of our athletes. So just so many little small details that really came to shine throughout the week. And I know a lot of that is also in thanks to Keelan. So, Keelan, what did you feel right now? I know as a production guy, it's not done until it's done. So you and I are very much in the mode of we'll see what it feels like. But what does it feel like right now for you for this week?
It definitely feels like this was the best week. I would agree. Just from the production standpoint, I feel like the streams were really good. I hope everybody was able to watch on YouTube, and the audio was good and the video was good. Not much lagging and dropping out. I feel like this was the best week of the PGF so far. More to come, more progress to make. The notes were taken. We'll go back to the drawing board and come back again even better. I know. Hard to believe. How could you? We're going to do it.
I want to ask this before I get to where we're going. So think about that for a second. But what were your favorite moments from the week? I'll start with you, BMAC.
Well, it had to be when I was asleep this morning and I heard a knock on the door, a little rap, tap, tap on my chamber door. I was like, who is knocking on the door? And I got up, I put my shirt on, put some shorts on, because I didn't know who it was. And I opened the door, and Hoist Gracie's standing there. And he goes, hey, my brother Brandon. And I said, hey, man. And hang out right here. You want some water? I got to brush my teeth. Like, that was probably my favorite part of the whole week.
It's not often a legend
That's
just
never happened
shows
to me.
up.
That was not
Yeah.
on the bingo card. You know what I mean?
I mean, similarly, I was doing my job of interviewing the athletes that were featured today, and then I just see a note from our director Octavio that says, Hoist is up next. And I go, I'm sorry, the janitor Hoist? Because what is Hoist
Wait,
Gracie
does that say
going to do?
Hoist or Royce?
Oh, Royce. Rolls-Royce is up next. Yeah. Copy that. Okay, good to know. That incredible moment. Keelan, what about you?
Favorite moment of the week? It's got to be right now, man. After it's done, we did it. We got a champ. We gave the money. The stream didn't die. Nothing burned down. Right now is the best moment so far.
You know, I'll tell you my favorite moment. It's not far from yours. Is we started at 4 p.m. Like, this show went at 4 p.m. because last year something came up and they put it out, and that would kill other streams. Y'all fixed it. This year, the way I knew that was hitting was when everybody goes, wow, it's so fast today. We're flying through this. And it's like, 'cause we started at 4, this is how it's supposed to feel. And it felt like such a great moment from a producing standpoint of, oh my God, everything's going right. Now we just get to enjoy great jiu-jitsu, and that is all you can ever hope for. So that is very good. Gentlemen, the next question. Where are we going? Because there's always hints of it. You drop a little nugget here and there. Where are we going next for PGF Season 8?
Well, we're definitely going to 155 pounds for PGF Season 8. So write that down. If you're a 155 pounder, start putting your name in the hat. We're looking for people that have, first of all, that have what it takes to be a PGF athlete. It's not for everybody. I understand that. But in my opinion, at this point, the PGF is professional grappling, and everything else is not. It's working towards it. So if you're a 155-pound athlete and you're a professional and you want to win some money and you want to have literally the best jiu-jitsu experience of your life, ask anybody that was here, from the staff to the athletes to the coaches. It's the greatest jiu-jitsu experience you could possibly have. Drop me a DM, go on to pgf.world, hit that athlete registration form. Let me know that you're interested. We'll start selecting athletes. It won't be that long. It's right around the corner. Where will we be? We will be in a secret location.
Okay.
But it probably won't be Las Vegas.
Oh, boy. Okay.
I don't know that I should say just yet where it will be.
Okay.
But let me just say that you thought we blew your mind with Season 6. We exceeded that expectation with Season 7. Season 8 is going to blow it all out of the water.
Okay. That's good to know. Vegas is very close to me, though, so I kind of like Vegas.
This won't be close to you, Raph. It's going to require a little bit of sacrifice.
Oh, boy.
For a whole lot of reward.
Oh, boy. Okay. So,
your wife is going to have to miss you for probably 3 or 4 extra days.
Oh, boy. Well, I think she'll be okay with that. She gets sick of me on occasion, although she has texted me a lot. It's very, very sweet. I'll see you, Kelly. But I would tell you this. I love hearing that because you know the step that we took the last big time you did this with Season 6. So I can only anticipate what that means. Gentlemen, I'm very excited about what I'm about to do next, but I'd love to give you just open time on the mic to say whatever you want to say before we go to PGF/Bullpen Court, a segment I think that you guys have enjoyed. What I am going to tell you,
one of my favorite things of the week has been going back to the room each night, me and Keelan, Isaac, and all the rest of the crew, opening up the laptop, and we go back and rewind, and literally the only part of the PGF that I've seen this week has been the post show from the bullpen.
Thank you. I think, and I'll give you the hint of where we're going tonight. I'm going to have them on PGF Court make their case for what weight class we're going to do next. Because maybe, not that we're going to change anything, maybe they make a better case for a different weight class.
I'm open to all arguments.
Oh, shit. Oh, this has weight now. Okay, cool. Before it didn't. Gentlemen, we'll start with you, Keelan. You can have the mic. Let's put the camera directly on him, sir.
What am I saying again? I'm just saying.
Any shout outs?
Talking to
Anybody
the
you want to
people.
thank? Do what you want to do, sir.
I mean, I just want to thank everybody for watching, especially the people still watching. You know, you're a true fan, hanging around for the post show. Thanks for hanging. I mean, thanks for being patient with us this whole show. I know it looks like $1 million show, but it's not quite that, okay? There's like 6 of us back here doing it. Be patient with us. We're getting better. Every season we've gotten better. If you're a longtime fan, you know that's a fact. So have faith, trust in us. It's going to get even better and better. That's all.
Thank you, Keelan. B-Mac,
Do I get the solo shot?
you do get the solo shot, sir.
I'm ready. I just want to say to everybody that's a supporter of the PGF and what Keelan and I and Zoltan and Heather are trying to do, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support, your encouragement, your love means everything to us. And this is my love letter back to jiu-jitsu. So thank you, jiu-jitsu, for everything that you've done for me. And let me continue to build something beautiful, not just for the athletes that are here now. Like, we're going to build a foundation for the athletes now to make a career and to make a living, but we're going to build a foundation for the next generation of athletes to get rich. That's the goal. We're going completely to the top. These guys are trying to be the world champions at what they do. I'm trying to be the greatest of all time at what I do, and I absolutely will hit that goal. I'm going to win. If you want to win too, jump on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, your showrunner and your commish, Keelan Lawyer, Brandon McCatherine, 2 outstanding gentlemen. I don't think myself or many other people would work as hard as we do if they weren't quality people. They are quality people. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
I love you, Raph. I value what you bring to this.
Thank you so much,
more
sir.
than you could possibly know. And big shout out, Isaac right there. Never gets the love. Octavio never gets the love. Jump in the comments. Let those guys know how you feel about all the hard work they've done. Don't be scared of that super chat.
Indeed. Gentlemen.
Love you, dude.
Love you. All right, guys. Well, now that we were all wishy-washy, let's get to PGF court.
What we're witnessing is real. The participants are not actors. They are not skilled enough to be actors.
They are actual hosts litigating on behalf of the athletes and the audience of the PGF at an undisclosed underground court in Las Vegas. Both parties have agreed to dismiss the internet and settle their disputes here
At PGF Court.
I don't care who. Ow. It's okay.
A default. Let's go.
You don't win by default.
Your Honor, I would like you to take note. This man was late to court.
All right. Oh, he's ready?
Get out of here,
well,
Egg.
let's bring him back on.
I got fired again, twice in 1 week.
Still getting my bill.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, today on PGF Court, we are joined by the esteemed Stephen Aiken.
David.
Hold on, I was going to say
Yeah,
Bobby,
esteemed.
both of them, but sometimes I feel like that's a tricky name to say. Gentlemen,
point.
I was just informed that next year the weight class is going to be 155 at the PGF. Or is it? You now have the opportunity to pitch the weight class of your choice that we will have and feature for season 8. And as per the commish, he's open to changing it if you can change his mind. No pressure. Gentlemen, you'll each get to make a case for what it is that you want. You each get 1 minute. Let's start right now with Kevin Sherrill.
Handsome weight. We are doing next season at handsome weight. What is handsome weight, you ask? I'm glad you asked. Thank you. You're so polite. Handsome weight is a weight agreed upon between the participants in a handsome fight if you look it up in Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Therefore, I will arbitrate who gets in at handsome weight. There are other requirements than weight, boys. This is how you maintain the quality of the PGF. You want a quality experience, you need quality assurance. And I'm your guy for that. No further questions.
That's not
There was
how
no
that works.
question.
There was no question asked. You literally just made an opening statement.
So I'm still right. There are no further questions. Perfect.
No, you just have the opportunity to speak. You're not using your. You know what?
Thank
Take
God.
the
God
time
bless
off.
America.
Take the time
God
off.
bless America.
Stephen
You have the
Aiken,
opportunity to speak.
shut up. Stephen Aiken, you get 1 minute. Your time begins now.
I'm going to stand with the 155 division, as the commissioner said, because these guys are typically some of the most exciting, athletes and grapplers that we have in combat sports. You see it in the UFC and lots of other avenues. They really come out and they put on a show because this is their chance as athletes. They don't get to make it to the NFL or to the NBA or to the other bigger kind of shows. This is the big show for those smaller weight class guys. So I'd like to see them come out here, get a chance at 155. We'll reset here a little bit lower weight class than we've done in a while, so we won't have players that we've seen in the last couple of seasons, and I think it's going to be a great show.
Thank you for that. All right, Stephen Aiken, you now get 1 minute of cross-examination time to deflate any part that you deem fit of Kevin Sherrill's argument.
Kevin, you said that you wanted the handsome weight to be the division of choice next season, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you also said that you would be the arbiter of said divisional worthiness.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It would be my honor.
Who do you owe any said rights whatsoever to the handsome crown at all?
Wow. I don't owe anybody. I'm just magnanimous like that.
So you came up with the whole thing all by yourself, and you started calling yourself handsome all by yourself?
Unless someone can prove otherwise, yes.
I can have footage brought up if we need to.
Not in 25 seconds, you can't.
Okay, so you're going to stand on the fact that you came up with the idea of the handsome and the handsome weight title all by yourself?
Not what I said.
Are you sure that's not what you said?
No.
No further questions.
Thank you for that. All right, Kevin, you get 1 minute of cross-examination time beginning now.
Steven, do you agree with the concept of momentum and continuity in a narrative and storyline? Are you familiar with it?
I'm sorry? Momentum and continuity in a storyline?
Yeah. Are you familiar with it? Say, like, you build with sequels, trilogies, follow-up seasons to popular, whatever.
Yeah, like this was season 7.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And it builds with continuity?
Yes.
So who among this past season 7, do you think could make 155?
Elijah Carlton.
Without dying.
Was that a question?
Yeah. Who among this roster do you think could make it without dying?
There was one guy, I can't remember. What was Christos Papadopoulos?
Oh, yeah, he'd be good. Yeah, that would be a good one. Hell yeah.
That's how you're ending it?
I mean, he brings up a good point.
All right.
Christos is pretty good. He's
Kev,
chippy, too.
Let me just tell you this right now. A lot's writing on your concluding statement. Please, for the love of everything on your argument, land this.
All right. I'll lock in. I apologize, Your Honor. I'll lock in. Right now?
When did you think you were going to do it?
Oh, I thought I had more time.
No.
All right. Sorry, locked in. Handsome weight's a great weight, man. It's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal weight. I think it would be phenomenally interesting. I'm only going to let in people who are fan favorites. I'll let in guys like Jet Thompson as long as I'm not on the season. Travis Thomas. Throw Ryan Aiken in there and see if he can smash Jet into tiny little pieces. It'll be a who's who. It'll be an all-star lineup of everyone you want, all the fans want to see, and one guy that you want to see die because it's going to be brutal. I can give the fans what they want. I can give them continuity with all of their favorites. It'll be effectively, again, just like a clip show. Have you ever played like, your time is expired. Madden with all the Hall of Famers? It's great.
Stephen Aiken, do it. Your minute begins now.
So, several things I could just pick apart. First of all,
3 extra seconds.
Kevin has no say whatsoever in the drafting or delegating of anyone's handsome weightness. He got that all from me. I created this.
Allegedly.
I started this. I called for the hair flip at the threat of death from him to continue the bit for him today even, or yesterday, when he forced himself into the season.
I'm trying to Zuckerberg this man.
Secondly, anyone that wants to include Jet Thompson into the handsome weight discussion, that needs to be examined. I think Jet's great at a lot of things. I don't think he's going to be our cover model if we're trying to attract a certain demographic. That's all I'm saying. Okay? And also, I don't know exactly how big Jet is. Perhaps he could get close to the 155 division. Maybe we'll find him back at that 170s around range or so. I don't know this, but I know the 155
he needs
guys,
to drop weight.
they
No,
need work. They need jobs. These people have families. And if we can get them out here, the $100,000 to some 155ers, it's going to change people's lives.
Your time has expired. Stephen Aiken, thank you very much for your time. I will get to my ruling first, but before I do, I would like to mention this court will not stand for Jet Thompson slander. Not in this court. He can be a handsome weight if he so is deemed it. What he cannot be allowed is to participate in the jiu-jitsu part. He can be selected. We just aren't going to do that again because yikes. And also, he's young and it doesn't even hurt him. Let's go to our actual argumentation here. Kev, you argued the weight of handsome weight. I'd like you one more time. I'm going to give you an opportunity here to define what handsome weight is.
He doesn't know. Handsome weight is what handsome weight does, son.
Okay. Let's mark that time when I come back to that momentarily. Stephen Aiken, you actually were arguing for the 155 division. You had a great cross-examination when you were saying who was the person who did get behind that. You and I had a great discussion about that when we were both trying to figure out how much of Kevin Sherrill's brand belongs to you and how much belongs to me. You were the one to actually start it, but we trademarked it at the correct U.S. government agencies. So we both profit off of him, and we will bring you in perpetuity at some point. I want to point this out.
Accept.
Kevin, when you didn't start your cross-examination for 20 seconds and then proceeded to malfunction like a robot at Chuck E. Cheese that no longer works anymore, you made this so easy. I stopped writing notes.
I do make it look easy, huh?
That I said, this is the dumbest argument you have ever made. In no way can you beat Stephen Aiken in this. Not only are we ruling for Stephen Aiken, but we are pointing out that he was more efficient than Egg was at being a lawyer. So you can take that back to the PGF insiders. Congratulations.
So really, I don't lose. Egg does.
This isn't a competition between you guys, but I can tell you, not sure. But Stephen Aiken, congratulations. Do you have any words to Kevin that might help him in the future?
You know, Kevin, I think if you would just stop having such a big ego and, you know, trust the people who brought you to this point.
I'm going to
Myself
stop
and
right
Raph.
there, but
Myself and Raph for bringing you here and keeping you here on this stage with these cameras and these microphones and allowing you to be a part of our show. Yeah, I would just know your place.
I want to point this out. The best part of Stephen Aiken's closing argument was, who's running this show? It's not you. And when I got to that, I was like, well, game over. We're done here. Our work is completely finished. Stephen Aiken, I want to give you the camera right now. Give shout-outs to anybody you want to. Let's put the camera on him, please.
Shoot, man. Big thanks, obviously, to Brandon, Keelan, Zoltan, you know, Heather, all the ownership here, PGF, you guys, Octavio, Isaac, Raph, everybody Kevin, Tim, I hope you feel better. Whoever that was that assaulted you, brother, we're going to find them. I'm not leaving town until we get this thing figured out. Definitely, like, my family and friends at home. I think you guys, you know, teammates, supporters, coaches, running the school while I'm not there, letting me come play with you guys for the whole week. I couldn't do it, you know, without all that support. That's it.
Centerpiece, the spokesperson, the franchise here. Such great work, sir. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Such positivity, great vibes always. We love you, and we hope that you have a great rest of your day, sir. So thank you very much for your work. I'm now going to give Kevin Sherrill an opportunity to go ahead and shout out whoever he wants to shout out.
Yeah, I try to, on a genuine moment, I try to stay off the gratitude on the mic, to be real. Like, there's a Chael Sonnen rule that, like, every time someone gives you a mic, you got to skip everyone thanks their team, they thank their family, they thank their support system. He's like, don't do that. Like, that's boring. Burn it down. Do something else, whatever, anything else. But I'm going to take time to do that. thanks to everybody back home in the American Top Team family, man, the Jucal family, Superfly. Love you guys, man. My team, the Not Bad Combat guys, it's great getting to train with everybody. It's great to have this opportunity to come out here. Thank you to RAF. Thank you to the PGF. Thank you to everything, man. Like, I live a really cool life. I get to do dope shit all the time. And every now and then you're, like, hanging out and, Hodger Gracie asks if you're coming to an after party. And you go, what is my life, man? And it's all because of the work we put in at home, because of the opportunities I've been given by these guys, because I get to hang around dope people and meet dope people and do cool things with them. So, yeah, thanks to everybody, man.
Thank you, Kevin. An incredible amount of work was done by you this week, and I feel like you really came into your own. You probably feel more comfortable here than you did on the mats. You did pretty good this week on the mats. Ladies and gents, it's been a week. It's been a lot of fun. It's kind of sad that we've wrapped it up, but I love thinking about what's coming up next. And as BMAC told you, the next weight class, allegedly, I take that back. It's 155. I don't think we made the argument to change it. Damn, that hurts to say. Because we had a shot. We could have changed things here. But anyway, I just want to give the usual thanks, accoutrements to our facility here. The secret location has been wonderful to us, to everybody from the security guards who are giving us cheesecake bites, to our friends who came through clutch. I mean, near and dear, even dropping us like nice little hints of water here and there. We appreciate you guys. That's super nice and super amenable to all of us. So thank you to the Gelato Watto folks. Thank you. We appreciate that, especially on the last day when you could use it. I want to give special thanks to all of our friends all the way throughout. I do want to say this. This is such a big beast to do. It is incredible to watch it work. But it only works when you have the right group of people who come together and when they are supported by individuals who can fix things on the fly, whether it's giving love to sponsors like this, sponsors like our coconut water over here, sir. Grab that. If we don't have this, we don't have the show. Simple as that. And what I really want you guys to know is when we get done with this program, we hopefully get to clean it all up and do it again in the near future. But it only exists if we have you guys giving out there love, comment, support, all of that good stuff. Our thanks to BMAC. Our thanks to all of the great people. Keelan for letting us run this show. Octavio for directing it. Isaac for providing us every form of resource there. Tim for being the co-pilot for it. And all of you for sticking with us. I cannot tell you how much it means to us. Ladies and gents, it has been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.
$10,000 hours is a steep mountain to climb to become a master, especially when the task at hand puts a relentless demand on your body. There is nothing casual about this sport. It's all in, all effort, all focus. It takes a lot from you, but the reward is unmatched. Mastery of oneself, an acute understanding of your weaknesses with an explosive sense of your strengths. Being able to complete the climb to mastery requires the proper nutrition. This is why it's important to take in a potent blend of electrolytes that is in tune with your output and brings strength to your goals. This potent blend is only found in Salt Electrolytes. Salt targets your depleted electrolyte levels with a boost of hydration and health. It gives your body the baseline recovery it needs.